When we talk about investing, we're often thinking only about the future. And today, I want to talk about the past and how we can invest into the past. Welcome to Financialism, where we expand our wealth, growth. Hold up. Growth. I need to do some more push ups. Growth mindset. I meant pull ups for the biceps, by the way. So, right here, I got some Pokemon cards. And there's a lot of nostalgia involved, and people are actually buying up nostalgia these days. That's right. So you can literally go on eBay, buy a booster pack, and boom, you're taken back to the 90s. Check this out. Let's do a little experiment right here. Yep, it worked. Every time I look at this card, I remember my grandma. I remember the day she came back from a trip to, I think it was 7-Eleven, and she got a $10 starter deck. I was 6 years old, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is what all of the kids, and all of the kids that I went to school with were talking about. And after that, like, split second, I was just like, oh my gosh. It was just me and the cards. Everything around me disappeared. All I saw was this Ninetales and all the 59 other cards. But this Ninetales was the first card sitting in that starter deck. And I was just, wow, this is amazing. This card is so beautiful. I'm looking at it and it's just like, just look at that, man. How could you not fall in love with that Ninetales? I know it's backwards on your screen. But yeah, people will actually pay thousands of dollars for a card like this if it has a first edition stamp and is in mint condition. Now, a sealed deck, if you have a sealed deck, consider yourself very lucky, because sealed products, they're different than open packs, right? You can always get individual cards by breaking booster packs and opening them up, and there's more and more coming in every day. Eventually, it'll stop, of course, because there's a limited amount. After all, this is from the 90s. But a sealed pack, well, the company is not going to print a new one. It's just sitting there. And that's why a lot of people investing in alternative investments like cards, they're sitting on sealed product. They're not opening their boxes, their packs, their promotional gifts. They're just holding it sealed, knowing that it'll never be reprinted again. So that's one thing to consider when it comes to alternative investments. There's so many aspects to it where it's not just I'm gonna buy some Pokemon cards and forget about it. What Pokemon cards? Why, for example, certain cards are worth more in the same booster set? Well, for example, sometimes the holo section of a card is really large and the actual Pokemon is small, which means there's more chances to get the hollow part scratched up, making it way harder for the condition to be good. And I really love what YouTuber Graham Stephan said, big fan of his. He said, when it comes to real estate, it's location, 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 and when it comes to Pokemon cards, it's condition, condition, condition. So, I don't know if you guys saw that. I kind of ruined the surprise there, but I found a very rare card in my collection, and it is the original Charizard. That's right, this is the original Charizard. I remember my friend Ian in 2nd grade, I traded him everything I had to just get this. His mom was like, are you serious? You had it for a day and you already gave it to him? I really traded every good card I had for this, and I still have this, and it's so hard to separate. But what you're looking at here, if this had the first edition stamp and was in mint condition, well, Rapper Logic just paid $220,000 to own one copy. What you're looking at here is probably closer to $180 just because of the playware and it being in my hands for the last 20 years. But if you're opening a sealed pack and you get one of these, it's going to be worth thousands of dollars. Even without the first edition stamp, it could go for about $1,200, $1,400, and it goes on and on from there. These cards have just been skyrocketing and skyrocketing in the last, well, since the lockdowns really started. A lot of opportunity there. We've seen the Pokemon Booster Box from 1999 first edition go from about $80,000 a year ago to over $375,000 today at least. And some people, they won't even sell it for that much. There are certain versions of Charizard that people like Justin Bieber, Gary Vee, they have offered $300,000 just to get their hands on that copy, and the sellers refused because there's only a handful of these versions that exist. And some of it depends on the grading service, right? Cards get graded, like, oh, the corners are a little bit off, or maybe the printing of the card is slanted. But if you get a perfectly graded Charizard, and it's by a company that no longer exists, and you have that, it's sealed in a case kind of similar to this. And because it's in that case, it is worth so much more, especially, like I said, if the company that grades it no longer exists. So how can you get in on this, right? Before I break that down, let me tell you one reason why you may be interested in this. Consider world events, right? We got an election going on. Do we really care? Do Pokemon collectors care if Joe Biden or Donald Trump wins? Maybe both of them get assassinated. I don't know what's going to happen. It's not like I work for the Illuminati and you know, there's an agenda. But let's just say both candidates disappear, or the most least likely thing happens and a third party candidate wins. You rest assured that the stock market is going to react. But Pokemon prices? It's independent. It's independent from the world economy. It has its own niche, its own market. So you are diversifying into something that is not impacted by regular human activities, grand scale events. A lot of these cards right now, even the common cards, like, let's see, something like this Quilava, right? It's not shiny, it's not hollow, and frankly, it wasn't that difficult to get. But because it's first edition and its condition is good, it could go for hundreds of dollars. And you basically get it in any pack. Those booster packs, of course, skyrocketed. They're now thousands of dollars because even the common cards from it is worth hundreds. Or rather than saying worth, they're valued at hundreds. People will get rid of hundreds of dollars just to have it and put it on their wall. And speaking of wall, come with me because, like I said, there's a lot of different ways of investing in alternative investments. And I have these sealed blister packs of old YuGiOh, but these are the actually reprinted versions, 2017. Every time I see these at Target, I buy them. They're about $7.50 each, which is pretty pricey for a booster pack, which typically goes for $4. However, the resale value of these are around closer to $9 on the internet. I was very lucky and I found two in one of my local Targets, and then I went to San Diego and I found two of these. And when I scanned it at the store, it said there was actually 0 available, which was strange because I was holding 2 of them in my hands. So obviously when employees see these and they know what's up, they're going to try to snipe these. But if you ever go to Target and see these, definitely go for it because the original versions of these packs that are first edition, thousands of dollars. What do people who don't have thousands of dollars, who want these kinds of cards and like decorate their room, feel that nostalgia, invest in that nostalgia, well, they could buy the $9 versions. And I'm guessing in 20 years, these are going to be incredibly rare. And we are long-term investors on this channel. So back to my seat where we can finish up talking about alternative investments and my strategy for it. So instead of trying to catch the current wave, right? I mean, a box for $375,000. Yes, I do think it's realistic that it'll go to $400,000. There's $25K for you right there. But after fees, right? After getting the box inspected and assessed and making sure that it's a legit product, you're probably going to spend at least $25,000, especially with a middle person securing and making sure that it's a fair trade, because scams do happen in these communities. Although the Pokemon community used to be, from what I know, pretty honest. but there's a lot of new people coming in because of this financial opportunity. And unfortunately, there have been a lot of scams going on recently. Someone did purchase a box for $375K, and on YouTube Live, opened it up, and it was completely other cards. So people actually resealed the box, and it was just so sad to watch. So sad to watch. And you can't really blame the seller, because the seller might have not even known that this box has been passed down for 20 years. And of course, sometimes there's a factory mistake, right? So when it comes to alternative investments and video games, you might buy a Yu-Gi-Oh game and it says it comes with 3 cards, but the 3 cards are not in there. It still has the original sealing. So there are company mistakes. Perhaps the game was returned back to the store, and the store used sealing from that time period, so it looks as if the game was never opened up. That's another possibility. But there's YouTube videos where people are losing thousands of dollars opening these kind of scammy products, and it's really sad. But here's my strategy. Instead of catching the current wave, why not think 20 years ahead like an index fund investor would? We're not here to make a quick buck. We're here for the long-term buy and hold, slow and steady turtle wins the race. So you could just be investing. If you're investing like $1,000, $500 a month, what if every third month you buy an alternative investment for $50 to $100? Like, buy some Pokemon packs that are maybe not brand spanking new, but a year old, right? You buy maybe a sealed booster box for $100 and hold it for 20 years. The worst thing that could happen is Pokemon goes out of style, and about 1/8 of your investments deteriorate in value. But it's not going to go to zero, right? Just like it's very hard for an individual stock to go to zero. It's hard to imagine a world without Pokemon, but it can happen, right? It's just hard to imagine. It was hard to imagine a world without Blockbuster, but that went to zero. Toys R Us, that went to zero. And we have Pokemon cards. I don't think they're going to be going to zero. I don't think that the price for the individual cards is going to stay. But for sealed products of today's day, I think there's a lot of potential in there, and no one's looking at it because it's the slow and steady. You're not going to double your money in a week. It's going to take decades. And again, this is highly speculative. I would not be investing thousands of dollars a month into this. I would, every other month maybe buy a box and just hold it. Hold those new boxes. No one's really tampering with the new products anyways, because they're so easily accessible right now. But in 20 years, they may not be, and we might have another Pokemon phenomenon, and I want to be in on it. So, see you guys in 20 years. All right, peace out, Girl Scouts, no doubt. And also like, comment, and subscribe.